Hello friends, welcome to the video number 5 for the JavaScript video tutorial series. And well, in this video we're gonna be talking about statements. Um, it's gonna be pretty simple but very important. So well, I'm continuing with the example of the previous video, but now I just made it simpler. As you can see here, I just left one paragraph, and we're gonna be working with that. It has the ID of P1. Now in my script, inside of my script, I have these three variables: variable x equals 7, variable y equals 3, variable z equals just the sum of x plus y, which is 10. And we're gonna be using this instruction, document.getElement by ID. The ID of the element is gonna be p1, so it's this paragraph. Dot inner HTML equals z, and well, that's it. That's what we're gonna be doing. So now, what is a statement? Well, a statement is basically just an instruction. We're giving an instruction to JavaScript, and as you can see here, we're using this semicolon to indicate JavaScript, okay, this is where the instruction or the statement ends. So this is one statement or instruction, this is another one, this is another one, and this is another one. Um, well, now let's see what this page does. Let's just run it. I'm gonna launch this in Chrome, and well, I get 10. Right? So in this instruction, I'm telling JavaScript, go to the document, get the element by its ID, and the element is P1, so it's gonna search and it's gonna find, okay, is this paragraph has this ID of P1. And then, well, what you are gonna do is you are gonna change the inner HTML to whatever it is contained in the value of the variable C. So in this case it's 10, and it's what we just saw. If I comment this line, save this and run Chrome, I'm gonna get just my paragraph, right? This is the paragraph P1. Now I just want to show you about the semicolons. Let's take them away. For example, if in these two statements, I already saved the document. Let's again see it in Chrome. And as you can see, it just works fine. So this brings us to a point where we can see that the semicolons are optional in JavaScript, but there is always a big, it's gonna sound weird. Um, if you start learning programming and then later you want to move on to another programming language, especially a programming language that comes from the C programming language, it's highly probable that it's gonna require for you to use the semicolon and as the end of a statement. So make a good habit, make a good use right now. Get used to end your statements with this semicolon. As for what I have seen, what I have heard, it seems that this little fella right here, it causes a whole bunch of headaches to a lot of even professional programmers that have thousands of lines of code, and they just forgot one tiny semicolon, and everything, well, just goes to hell. So make good use, make the habit right now to end your statements with this semicolon. Now another thing, and this thing is about white spaces. Let's remove the white spaces here. Now as you can see, I compacted everything. Let's see how this works. And well, it's exactly the same. It works just fine. But well, try to read this is a little bit hard. So especially when we are going to be debugging our own programs, this is much more easier to understand what we did in here. Um, so let's make a good habit of just adding white spaces here. And well, as we already saw, it works just fine, but it's easier for us to read. And one last thing, and well, we're not gonna see it in action here because we have not seen blocks of code yet. Oh no, sorry, this is not the last thing. There is another one. Well, here I'm gonna talk about indentation. When we get, for example, uh, to a for loop, for example, it's very easy for us. I mean, we're gonna need to indent our code, so it's very easy just to press the tab key, and I have my indentation, right? Well, um, just keep in mind that different browsers or even different versions of the same browser can in have a different interpretation for the tab in your keyboard or for the tabulator. So it might create or generate unexpected things or behaviors in your web page. So it's recommended that at least in JavaScript, hit your spacebar 4 times. Okay, use 4 spaces for indentation. So in that way, you're gonna be forcing your browser, whatever the version is or whatever it is, to again just interpret 4 spacebars or four spaces. So you should be safe for any different interpretations of the browser or the version of the browser. Okay, now one last thing, and this is when you have a very lengthy statement, let's say more than 80 characters, it is recommended that you break it to a second line. So for example, here we're gonna use the operator. This equal sign is an operator. In this case, this is an assignment operators. We are gonna see operators in a few tutorials ahead. But well, again, this is the assignment operator. So just in front of it, we can hit the return in our keyboard or the enter in your keyboard and then continue the instruction. So let's just save this and run it. And well, again, it just works fine. Right, so my instruction is not that long, so I'm gonna leave it just in one single line. And well, that's pretty much it. What I wanted to talk to you about JavaScript statements. Again, use the semicolons, make a good habit. They are optional, but it's a good idea that you start again making the habit of ending the statements with the semicolon. Uh, Use the white spaces to improve the readability of your code. Keep the length of your statements no longer than 80 characters. If you need to break it, use any operator that you have in there to break the instruction. And again, when we get to use indentation, try not to use the tab key on your keyboard, but use space bars or 4 spaces so that you can avoid any unexpected behavior because of how the browser is interpreting that tabulator. Okay, so well, as always, I hope that you have found this video very useful. If it was so, please give it a like and share it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And well, I thank you for your time, and I hope to see you on the next video.